Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. As you guys saw by the title, we'll be doing a drugstore makeup starter kit. In my opinion, obviously. I've seen a couple of these around here and there, but I know people are like going back to school. I'm not, but people are going back to school, teachers are going back to work. Like I just feel like even for me, like in general, for work, summer's been pretty chill, so I know like as the months continue, the cooler months come in, it's gonna kind of be more, I don't know. That's just mentally, I feel like it's more like okay, we're working. So I thought it'd be super fun and fresh to kind of do a drugstore makeup starter kit. I'm thinking about doing a high-end version as well. These are kind of the products that I would say like, hey, if you're looking for this recommendation from the drugstore, here it is for whatever category you're looking for. Some of these I've talked about before. Some of these, you know, are pretty old, but are still like a go-to of mine. So I thought it'd be super fun and fresh. First, if you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. First things first, we do have lip balm. This is the Colourpop Overnight Lip Mask. I have the shade Coconut, but I think there are a couple different options. I really think that Colourpop has some of the best lip balms ever. Every time they're in like one of their limited edition collections or whatever, I always try to grab them, even if I don't like the scent. What was the last one? The last one was like rose or something like that, and it was horrible. But I always like to pick them up because they feel so nice. They're moisturizing, they're thick. I wear this every night in bed. It literally sits by my bed. And so I love it. I love it. If you're looking for a good overnight one, obviously there are a bunch of like popular high-end ones, but if you're looking for a good one from the drugstore, I really like this one. There are definitely some newer ones too that I'm interested in trying, but I kind of like to have a Colourpop one on hand at all times. Alright, so then let's jump in with some primer. So I went with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I have the shade 903 Medium Glow. I feel like for the primer, it's definitely very specific to skin type, to preferences. This one I just felt like, obviously a lot of people are coming out with bronzing drops now and like all this variation, but I think that these are just the easiest. So if you're looking for something quick, obviously, but still from the drugstore, and you don't feel like you have to buy like 87 parts so that it looks good on your face, I feel like this is a great alternative, because like for the bronzing drops, you kind of have to mix them in with your moisturizer or whatever. This one you can simply just put on your face and glow and glow and go. And so I feel like they're just easier. They're moisturizing. They're not gonna like dry out your skin or look patchy on their own because they kind of melt into the skin, but they still give you that glow. So they're also, I think L'Oreal came out with 3 new shades. They also came out with a few new shades in this. So there's some deeper ones, some lighter ones, definitely ones to fit your kind of preferences if you want something that is more bronzy. Gosh, okay. Sorry, just had to add some little studs and some rings. Anyway, I think that L'Oreal sometimes is a little bit pricier. I think this can get up to like $13, something like that, but I think it is so worth it. You know, you don't need a lot. I always put on a lot, but you don't need a lot, number one. Number two, what this was, oh, you only need to buy this one primer then, you know what I mean? So then you're not needing to mix or like, you know, use this on this days, this on this days. I feel like all around it's just, in general, the best option, especially from the drugstore if you're looking for the glow. Yes? Next, I told you, I promised, we'll be going in with the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This is the medium buildable coverage, long lasting. I have the shade 32 medium neutral. I definitely think like I've done in the past, like way back, like years ago, like maybe 3-4 years ago, I've done videos with the old version of this because it's such a great foundation, but then it got old. So the revamp was much needed and I'm so glad because now we can talk about it again. This foundation is just so good. It's so beautiful. I think it's the perfect foundation for everyday wear and tear. Again, if you're going to school, to work, whatever it is, I think it's not too much, and that's the thing. It's the perfect amount. It's a nice, again, medium coverage, but you can definitely almost sheer it out, kind of customize it to what you kind of want. But I think it always looks so beautiful. Every time I wear it, I'm like, yo, this foundation is stunning. I know a lot of people are loving it right now, so I was kind of just like, yeah, I know it's perfect. That just justifies the recommendation even more because it's like, you need this foundation, like you genuinely do. I'm just going in with the Morphe X Ariel A24 brush. which I know for a fact, like, these brushes again are talked about a lot. If you want just like one set of brushes that you want to use for like whatever, just day to day, I think that this brush set is so good. And I know it's hard to like recommend like singular brushes and stuff like that, but like, so like if you can get this set still, I would definitely get it. 10 out of 10 recommend. So you can see I definitely went for a sheer kind of coverage. It definitely like leaves some things peeking through, looks super natural, but I feel like I just look a little bit more put together. My glow is peeking through. I feel like everything is just working together so beautifully. Juicy, supple. This is the vibe, honestly. It's the vibe. Love this foundation, honestly. Like, I truly do, and it's so affordable as well. Alright, so then we're gonna go in with some concealer. I know a lot of people just wear concealer or just wear foundation, like whatever the case is, but if you're looking for a great concealer, I love this concealer. This is a L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. I think that is such a great description. It's so radiant. Say so radiant. I was gonna say so creamy, and then I end up saying so radiant. It's such a creamy concealer, but it does have a radiant finish when it's not too glowy, not too matte. So I feel like it's the perfect combo. It makes your under eyes look young, healthy, like alive. It's not gonna make them look, it's not gonna age them. And I think that's always the concern with concealer and like, just under eyes in general. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, like, what is this concealer going to age them? What's it going to do? I think this has a nice like medium coverage. I definitely think it could be built up, but I don't always do that. I kind of just put kind of one layer and then go from there, because I don't love a full coverage under eye, but so I wear it like more medium coverage. But I think it's so pretty. It covers like what you need it to cover. I was gonna say, I think this color might be a little light for me right now, but it's fine. Okay, in person it doesn't look like that. It's always just the camera, so I don't know what you're seeing, but it just blends so easily. It looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love this concealer as well. Again, L'Oreal, hit or miss. I know a lot of people like L'Oreal, but others don't. But I honestly think that this concealer is 10 out of 10, and I feel like I'm the only one on the planet who loves this concealer, and that's fine. I'll just be the one to share it. But as long as you know that this concealer is good and trust me, then we're all good. We're all good. So good. So good. I have the shade W6 in that. Medium W6. So I probably would go up a shade or two, but for my tan skin, but when I'm lighter, which is most of the year, it's fine. Now for setting powder, I was just like, I didn't want to like overdo it and like recommend this and that and this and that and loose and pressed or whatever. I think there are a lot of drugstore setting powders, and I think powder has become very like personal preference. People just prefer some over the others. For me, I absolutely love the NYX HD finishing powder. They do have a loose version, which I love, but the pressed version in translucent is literally perfect. You could buy this for I think $8, something like that, and it works all over the face. So we're gonna use it under the eyes. I'm just gonna take, this is the Morphe M448 brush. If you can't tell, I love a good Morphe brush, like I do. And this one has been an OG forever. It's such a nice powder brush if you want something like this that's more tapered. I love this brush. Anyway, this powder never looks dry. I feel like I could pack it on and it never looks dry. I feel like it sets my under eyes so beautifully. It sets my whole face so perfectly, exactly the way I want it, because I never want to look dry, and I just work so hard to get like this natural glow. I don't want that to look super like you know, matte, but this powder will keep your makeup set without taking away too much of the glow. It's not gonna look super matte. I don't know that people with oily skin would absolutely love this, because I do feel like it's not gonna be the most matte, but I definitely think people with like combo skin, normal skin, anything like that, like it does the job, you know what I'm saying? Okay, next we have some creams. I literally like cream and liquids, whatever. And I literally had so many options in here, and I was like, Marissa, you have to calm down. Put it back. I was like, just pick one. And I know, like, obviously, again, it's personal preference, or like what you actually have at your nearest drugstore, or like if you're placing an Ulta order, like it kind of definitely depends on what you're looking for, what's going to be the most beneficial for you, because there are so many options at the drugstore. But I think like my number one cream bronzer from the drugstore, did you know? I'm sure some of you knew. This is the Colourpop Bronze Stick in the shade Moonstone Beach. I love this so much. Let's just say so good. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. I think it is, again, the best cream bronzer from the drugstore. I love the stick because it's just so easy. I feel like I definitely think some days I go for more of like a pot, some days I go for the stick, but today's one of those days where this one is just like my go-to. I think it is so good. It blends so easily, but it's also like not overly creamy where I feel like it's gonna just slide off your face. I feel like it's gonna hold really nicely. Like if you're someone who doesn't set your makeup, I feel like this would be a good cream bronzer for you because it's not gonna like slide off. It's not overly creamy or overly glowy dewy where it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? You know what I mean? I feel like it's just the perfect cream bronzer. It's so good. It is so good. And you guys know I've loved that for a long time, so I'm not lying. I have to say too, I don't know what the claimed finish of this bronzer is. Like, I don't know, it might be just like a natural finish. But I do feel like once it gets on the skin, it kind of melts into wherever your kind of foundation is at. So I feel like it looks a little bit glowier, dewier. Like I feel like they work together, and that's always like my favorite thing about, or that's always what puts makeup on makes it my favorite, is when it works so nicely with all the other products I'm wearing. And this one is just beautiful. It ends up looking just radiant and skin-like and so soft. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. I could talk about that forever. I will say Colourpop does have some blush options, but today we're gonna go with the e.l.f. Camo liquid blush. This one is just like, I don't want to say like how do I say this? I feel like this one is it's been tested enough by a lot of people that like I know a lot of people like this. I think this is one of the best cream blushes in general, but definitely from the drugstore as well, or liquid blushes I should say. I feel like this might be a little bit easier to come by too than some of the Colourpop, just depending on where you are. But these are so good. I'm also just using the e.l.f. liquid blush brush. I use that for bronzer as well. But I think these are so much, like, I just hate to say it, but these are so much better than Rare Beauty's, because I feel like a little bit is not going to be too much. Like, it's so easy to work with these. I think these are honestly so foolproof. They're great for beginners, but they're also great for every day because you don't have to worry about putting too much and like, oh my gosh, now you got to sit here and blend and waste your time. No, I feel like it's just quick and easy and ends up looking stunning. I have the shade Suave Mauve and I want more, but I'm like, I don't know if you guys saw my collection video, but I have too many liquid blushes. But I just think these are so good. I'm gonna build it up just a little bit. So easy. They blend easy, they look so juicy. It's literally perfection. And then this brush does make it like so much easier too. It's just so quick. I mean, any brush you have, any foundation brush, kind of a kabuki style, but this one is really nice too because it's a little bit angled, so it really hugs the cheek really nicely. I love it. Love it. Okay, so this is my normal routine, but obviously to each their own. I'm just going to go back in with the NYX powder. I'm going to take, this is the e.l.f. Powder Puff. I'm sure you've seen them around. They're the little pink powder puffs. This is the full size, the big size one. And I've been loving this recently, so it is what it is. I just like been taking the powder puff and dip it in the powder, tap it off on the back of my hand, and then just setting my entire face like this. But let me show you. Like, you can see how set I am, but does this look dry? No. Does it still look juicy? Yes. It's like the perfect powder. I just love it so much. This one has been a favorite for a long time. Obviously, this looks a lot dewier, a lot juicier. We will go in with some setting spray, so fret not. But also, this is like an accident waiting to happen. It's like, please don't hug me at all because this will be on you immediately. So, obviously, we gotta set that sucker down. Set her down. So stunning. Honestly, you could just go like this. Literally, this could be your routine and you'd be fine. But we are going to go with some powders just in case you're not a cream girly. So first, of course, we had to. The Colourpop matte bronzer in the shade Silver Strand Beach. You guys know how much I love this. I love this bronzer so much. I think it is so beautiful, so creamy, so blendable, so smooth. Honestly, it's comparable to every single matte high-end bronzer on the planet. It's just so foolproof. It's so easy. The shade is like a little, I don't want to say light for me because again, normally it's like fine, but right now it's like not going to do anything crazy. But I almost love that because it's very subtle, just very easy. I could blend this for hours and it still won't be too much. Literally the best bronzer on the planet. I don't know. It's so good. Some days I really am like, I could get rid of every other bronzer, and other days I'm like, okay, I like the variety though, you know what I mean? But if you're looking for a good one that's super affordable, and obviously from the drugstore, then I go Colourpop. I'd go Colourpop, and you guys know I've been diehard for this bronzer for a long time, along with the cream. I love it. I love it. I do have found a new appreciation for the NYX Buttermelt products, so the bronzer and the blushes, but we're gonna go with the blush today for the butter in the shade Soft Mauve. I think these are so smooth. They're beautiful. If you find a color you like, I definitely think that you can't go wrong. I think they end up looking very skin-like, very very natural, I should say, just depending again what color you get. And I think they just always look good. Like, these are very foolproof as well. Like, you could throw it on and just be fine. And you know how they say like matte but flat? This is completely the opposite. It's never looks flat ever. It looks so stunning, and there's not necessarily like, it's not a glow to it, but I feel like it's this natural, I don't know, like this very natural look to it that almost makes it look a little bit like radiant, lifelike almost, but it's not glowy. There's no shimmer or glitter or anything like that. It's literally just from the formula. I don't know. It is so good though. Literally stunning. Stunning. We're just gonna quickly do some brows. I can't really talk about, you know, a lot of the brow pencils, but I did recently purchase the Maybelline Express Brown Ultra Slim Pencil. I have the shade 257 Medium Brown, and I do think it's a great brow pencil. I think it does the job, you know, like it's just like the ABH or the Benefit. Like it's comparable to high end. Like there's something special about it, but there's also nothing bad about it. So I would say get it if you need a different recommendation, but I also have not tried too many, just I don't know. I was gonna say I should say I haven't tried too many recently, because in the past I have tried like the Elf has a couple, like just I've tried a couple here and there, and I like them, but I just feel like any drugstore brow pencil will do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not like pickiest, I should say, with my brow pencils, so any of these are fine for me, but I really like that one. So it is newer too, so could add to your list. Next we're gonna go with the L'Oreal Brow Lamination. I really like this brow gel. I think it is like one that's gonna hold and lock in your brows, but I feel like it's not too complicated. I feel like sometimes when you get the brow lift, the brow blah, 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 like they have a million names. I just wanted to hold my brows in place for as long as possible. Like literally that's all I want from life, and I feel like this does this. I do feel like it's more of like a gel consistency, so it's not gonna be super thin. It is a little bit of more thicker gel consistency, but I like that because I know that it's gonna work. And so I've been enjoying this recently. There are definitely a bunch of options for the brow gel, again, from potted ones to like everything under the sun, but this is just a unique, very fun recommendation that if you are like, I want to try something new, this one is a good one, and your brows are not going anywhere, honey, anywhere. Okay, actually let me do some setting spray first. We're just gonna go with the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. I've been loving this recently. I've talked about this nonstop. I do feel like this is probably the most similar I've ever gotten to the Charlotte Tilbury. I know it's supposed to dupe the Milk, but if you like are interested in the Charlotte Tilbury, you don't want to spend the money, or you have it already and you're kind of like, while I still have it, let me try a dupe, I would try this one. I think it's the most similar, where it just melts into the face, makes your skin look fresh, but it's not going to be over the top dewy where you look like super glowy, like you're sweating. No, it's going to be the perfect amount where it just makes your makeup look alive, natural, and then it's going to hold your makeup all day. This one, yeah, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I do have to say the biggest difference is obviously the sprayer, as are every other setting spray, because nothing is as soft as this one, but you could get used to it, or you could change the packaging if this is a little too slow for you. I just inhaled that powder. Wow, setting spray. Alright, next we have eyeshadow. Of course you have to go with Colourpop. I think Colourpop is the queen of drugstore eyeshadow. And there are a bunch of other brands that I've tried in the past or like that have come out with new stuff. I just feel like the cult classic, the best of the best is Colourpop for sure. And like no matter which way you slice it, Colourpop has the best formula. If you want to go that route, they have the most options. If you want to go that route, whatever it is, it's Colourpop. And so I will always recommend them till I'm blue in the face. I had a hard time. I was like, oh crap, I don't have any brushes, because I normally get my eyeshadow brushes from like Ipsy or something like crazy, but I did have this one from the makeup, the Morphe and Ariel blush brushes. This is the A11 brush. I don't know if this is supposed to be for highlighter because I think this was in the face set, but I use it for the crease. So we're going to use it for today. We're going with the That's Taupe palette, which has been my favorite recently. We're just going to like mix these two shades at the top here. I literally just slap on this eyeshadow palette all of the time. Literally just slap it on. I think Colourpop definitely, like, I feel like I'm thinking specifically of like the NYX eyeshadows and the e.l.f. like bite-sized eyeshadows. I just feel like they have their hype for a moment and then they die, but I feel like Colourpop literally has never like faded out. And I think it's also because they come out with so much makeup at all times, but I think in general just like the Colourpop like Going Coconuts, like it's been a favorite forever. The That's Taupe has been forever. I think there's another one that's like neutrally that people just love all the time. Like they're always mentioning it, still wearing it all the time, and I'm like, rightfully so. Colourpop just has some of the best formula ever. So 10 out of 10. So we went with that in the crease. We're also going to take, so these are my Sonia Kashuk brushes. The thing is that they don't have, oh, they have the name, but they don't have the brush number. This is just a small like tapered blending brush. And you can get Sonia Kashuk at Target. I don't know how many other drugstores, but I do know that she has a bunch of different options for brushes, face brushes, eye brushes. Their eyeshadow brushes are really nice and their sponges are really nice. I've never tried the like brushes, but so good. So if you're looking for an option, there's one. We're just gonna take this shade down here actually and put that on the outer corner. I really want to take a shimmer, so I think we're going to go with the shade, honestly, let's go with the middle shade, the shade Snake Eyes, and just put that all over the lid. I'm just doing it lightly because I don't want it to be too crazy, but I still want it to wear like a little bit of a shimmer today. Oh my gosh, so stunning, so pretty. I was gonna say too, that if you're like, Marissa, I really want to try the Natasha Denona palette that you always talk about, the Mini My Dream palette, or you really want to try the Too Faced Born This Way Cold Smolder palette that I always talk about, but you're like, I don't want to spend money on these, or you're like, I want to try, I don't know if the colors will work for me and I don't want to spend the amount if I'm not sure, then definitely try the That's Taupe. It's super affordable. It's probably half the price of both of those, and then you can kind of see how the color story works because this one is definitely very similar to both of those. You can see if you like this one. This one does have more options, which is a little bit nicer. You have a little bit more freedom to play. But if you like this one and then you want to take the step up, you definitely absolutely can. They're very similar, but if you want to just kind of see what these colors are doing for you, go with this one. Go with this one. Alright, I'm going to put on my lip bead before I do my mascara because I know mascara is going to take me forever. I also think, so much Colourpop, but I love their So Juicy line. Honestly, it's so good. Again, very, I was going to say on brand, but very like, yeah, just on brand with what everyone's loving recently. I think they're a little bit plump on the plumping side. So again, if you're looking just to give your lips that juicy without obviously getting filler or anything like that, or without spending an arm and a leg on like the Too Faced or anything like that, this is a great option. It is a little tingly, but it's nothing bad or anything like that. So I just went in with the lip liner in the shade Tease. Then we're gonna go with the So Juicy Plumping Lip in the shade Dough. If you're looking for a Colourpop alternative, this one is great. These are a little bit, the slightest bit like creamier, so they get a little bit messier, but I do still think they're so pretty. It's so worth it, if you will. And so I 10 out of 10 recommend. I feel like, oh my gosh, I could see the he's so hard to see, it's so dirty. I could see the clear I've been using it so much. I think it's so gorgeous, and so if you're looking for a great option for that, and then if you're just looking for a plumping glossy lip oil, the So Juicy ones again are so good. I think they definitely make your lips look juicy with this routine, but also on their own. They can be a little bit messy as well, but honestly they're so worth it, and they're the perfect amount of glossy. Everything you want. Everything you want. Last but not least, we're going to go in with some mascara. This is the Milani Anti-Gravity Mascara. I also think like the Essence ones are so good. L'Oreal makes amazing mascaras. There are so many options, but we're just going to go with this one today. I have this one in the L'Oreal Panorama, but I feel like I use them like all the time, so you guys know. But I'm going to go do this and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, here's the finished look. This is definitely on brand for like my preferences. Obviously, it's a lot of makeup for every day, but I feel like you can pick pieces, whatever you want to kind of choose, and just all around, I know it's going to look so stunning. This mascara, like I was saying though, it's just so beautiful. It's lengthening. It honestly, what is the word? It separates your lashes so well. It's like, what, lengthening. I think the word is lengthening, but it makes your makeup, wow, I don't know why I'm spazzing right now. It makes your lashes just look so good. You can get some volume out of this if you build it up. I think this is like 2 or 3 coats, like nothing super crazy. But I think that it's just all around a beautiful mascara. So I 10 out of 10 recommend if you have not tried this one. And yes, that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what products, if you've tried any of these, if you're gonna pick any of these up, let me know. And then if you have any other recommendations, you're like, wait, no, this is better, I promise you, Marissa, definitely comment those down below too, and I will definitely check them out. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.